All right, so let's get started now. Hello, welcome to my Untitled podcast. We are doing round 2 of our Cartoon Network bracket challenge.
Can y'all still see me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Yeah, we can see.
I only see 3 people. That's why
I
Here
see
they are.
5, including myself.
So
I had to scroll over to see people.
last week their thing. So Dexter's Lab, Johnny Bravo, Billy and Mandy, Ben 10, Chowder, Pop-Up Girls, Ed, Nitty, and Courage all made it to round 2. So now we will be debating which one will make it to round 3. So what we're gonna do is each person's gonna pick a show. They're gonna explain why they picked this show, and they're also gonna explain why they didn't pick the other show.
Y'all know who I'm repping.
So I'll go first since, host.
Are we not doing that weird intro thing that we would always do? Where Sikora says this weird thing?
Of course.
Are we?
There's no real reason to. It's not like a podcast.
It's not like we're on a pod. You can see us now.
They can see it, and they can read.
Oh yeah, people finally see who I am now.
Yeah.
Let's hope that our audience is smart enough to read. Here we are. So.
Well, anyway, so starting off, I am choosing Dexter's Lab over Johnny Bravo because Dexter's Lab is freaking hilarious, and I can still watch it and still be entertained. But I can't really say the same thing for Johnny Bravo. I don't hate Johnny Bravo. It's just I don't really think it holds up that much today, at least in my opinion. So
because now today will be called problematic.
I'm going
because it was very problematic.
Anyway, so I'm choosing Dexter's Lab. So who's gonna go next?
Me. All right, I'm gonna choose Dexter's Laboratory as well because the show and the characters were goofy fun, and I loved watching Dee mess with
Of course you love watching DP.
and like cause him all sorts of problems, and then Dexter has to be like trying to figure out how to get out of the mess that Dee got him into. Like I was watching clips yesterday, and one of the clips was Dee got taunt into a call.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Oh no!
And Dexter
that was a trip, man.
And yeah, so
that episode was a banger.
That was a trip and a half, no pun intended.
And then like Johnny Bravo, it's fun, it's cool. I like the chemistry between the characters. I like how Johnny Bravo talks. But it's kind of repetitive and one note. Doesn't really do that much as the way of like stories and storyline and stuff. It's a lot boring.
Okay, so we got 2 for Dexter's Lab so far.
3 for Dexter's Lab, but it's for the same reason that I said Dexter's Lab won last week, where I just watch Dexter's Lab more often than I watch Johnny Bravo. I just generally like the show better as a kid. I don't know what else to say. That's why it's got my vote.
This might be a wash. 4 for Dexter's Lab. Yo, bro.
No one's gonna go after anyone else?
Johnny is like, despite Johnny being a very problematic character, that's kind of the whole point of the show. That's why he always gets swerved by everything. The point is him being problematic and getting swerved.
Yeah. It's like taking like everything about masculinity and just being like, well, what if women didn't care?
Or what if women say, fuck him, I ain't going for that shit.
That being said,
downloading.
It still hasn't withstood the test of time. It still hasn't withstood the test of time in my opinion. It's just a lot of the humor falls a lot flatter, and Johnny is just exponentially more cringy
Yeah,
versus
that's fair.
versus Dexter's Lab, where I can watch through the episodes with minimal cringe and it will genuinely sleep. So my vote goes to Dexter.
So
Yeah,
4 for
four for
Dexter.
Dexter.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for Dexter too, mainly just because, kind of
Nice.
like just what Joven said, it was just what I watched more of. I don't know what was going on with timesheets back then, but Johnny Bravo was just on when I was not watching TV. I watched more Dexter's Lab than I did Johnny Bravo, so I can't really. I don't think I've ever seen a full episode of Johnny Bravo from
Oh, I
start
love this
to
fucking
finish. So
movie.
so I couldn't. I don't think I could make a cohesive argument for Johnny Bravo, and Dexter's Lab was just, it was just another one of those good shows. Does anybody remember the episode where his dad tries to wash the car and just wrecks it?
Ah, yes.
Oh God.
Yes.
Wait, do I remember that?
Yes.
I probably do. It's just not.
3 episodes come to my head. It's the one where his dad tries to wash the car, but then ends up just dismantling it. There's an episode where Mandark and Dexter are like fighting over it, but like all they say throughout the entire episode is Mandark, Dexter, and that's it. And like,
Oh yeah, I
it's like
remember
Mandark has
that
like this
one.
weird magic thing going on. I don't know. It was weird. And then there's another episode where no words were said. It's just Mandark laughing, trying to foil Dexter, and then in the end he just misses. Or something like that. Those 3 episodes that stick out to me. So yeah, I'm gonna go for Dex.
Can I go next?
Yes.
Go for it.
Of course.
Yes, I do love both shows. And as a character, I like Johnny better. Storyline, I have to go for Dexter's Lab.
That is.
So we're going to.
this is-
So that, yeah. Is that 6 or 7 for Dexter now?
That's
I think
6.
it's 6.
That's six.
Okay.
It's a wash.
So Dexter just got a clean sweep.
All right. So
There's only one
Wait,
time
hold up.
Dexter pissed me off, and it's that fucking golf episode.
We don't talk about that episode. We don't
That's the
talk about
only
that
episode that pissed me off of Dexter.
We don't talk about that episode.
I mean, Brendan still has a vote, so it could not be a complete wash.
Oh no, I'm telling you up front, it's gonna be a complete wash. I'm telling you this right now. However,
Go ahead, you turn.
I'm picking Dexter's Lab. However, in Johnny Bravo's defense, in my opinion, for me personally, it's a lot closer than it is for everybody else.
Me too,
Because
bro.
I've seen both shows recently. Just because Dexter's Lab, they just put on HBO Max, and I was chilling and watching it at another friend's crib.
Hey.
However, looking back on both shows, I remember the older I got, the more I laughed at Johnny Bravo's humor, because Johnny Bravo's humor was ever so slightly smarter, depending on who was in it. And the only reason why Dexter's Lab wins out for me is because the stories were better written, and because it had more memorable characters.
Yeah.
Outside of those main 5 characters in Johnny Bravo, did you really care about anybody else?
Yeah.
Like,
No.
anybody?
No.
No.
Nah.
No.
I cared about
Like,
Johnny, that little girl, and his mom.
Other than
I
Johnny,
don't know
And his
who the
best
dude.
friend.
There's a random dude.
other than Johnny, Carl, Pops, Johnny's mom,
Yeah.
little Susie, did you really care about anybody else in this damn show?
I
No.
literally gave not a shit
I
about
was
anyone
literally just
that
there for
wasn't
Johnny and his
Oh,
nachos.
Jovan's AFK.
I mean, hell,
Like-
Johnny Bravo is the character I gave Autumn to draw me as.
Yes, and it was fun as hell.
Like at least with Dexter,
That's
even
my
the
boy.
characters that were like one-off characters, they were at least memorable. Like, y'all remember Chubby Cheese?
Yes.
I don't
Yo,
remember Chubby
Brandon,
Cheese.
you froze.
Y'all
With the
remember
most
Chubby
hilarious
Cheese?
face.
Y'all remember Chubby Cheese? Y'all remember fucking Monkey?
Oh, monkey.
You remember the Justice Friends who also came because of Dexter's Lab? It's like Johnny never stood a chance. Like this no.
Wait,
yeah.
so we got.
The
So do we
winner is
literally got the
Dexter.
first clean sweep of any show?
Can I add something
What?
to Dexter's
Do
Laboratory?
we got our
Yeah.
first clean sweep?
Yep.
The adult
Yeah, we do.
humor in the show.
Was
See,
there much
but
adult humor on the show?
Johnny Bravo had adult humor too. Have y'all?
Yeah.
Christmas episode is one of the best episodes in Johnny Bravo, and it makes me weak every time.
Wait, the one with Donny Osmond?
Yes.
Donny Osmond? Oh my god.
Yeah,
If
because he
Johnny
was in the
Bravo
freaking
was
episode.
having like nobody shit the whole episode, and it was the greatest thing ever.
I remember that. The thing I remember about that
Sucks.
episode is when freaking Johnny hit Donnie with the freaking plane, and Donnie was just like chilling. He was just like, "Hey, you hit me with the fucking plane." Like, okay, we're doing fine. You just hit me with a plane. I'm just all smiles.
It literally just annoyed him.
Yeah. All right, so
Well,
Dexter
our first
won.
100% wash.
Yes. Now moving on to Billy and Mandy versus Ben 10. Who wants to go first?
Shakur.
Shakur.
We vote to score.
All right. It's time for the token Ben 10 vote.
Oh, where's my popcorn?
I was like, yo, Grim Adventure. Love that fucking show, but I gotta give it to my boy Ben, man. Like, that was such a major part of my childhood and early adolescence. Like, I would never miss an episode. I would never miss an episode. I was enamored by all of the characters. I am one of a few people that can quite happily, unironically watch Race Against Time again. It was just very integral to me, and it always had me in tears. And Billy and Mandy, yeah, is again. I share some of those emotions, but like, I feel like I liked certain episodes a lot, and then there were others where I was just like, I don't.
Okay. So Shakur's going with Ben 10. I guess I'll go. Obviously, I'm choosing Billy and Mandy because that show is just so fucking wild. And just rewatching it, I'm just like, wow. I didn't realize how freaking crazy this freaking show was. Like, I knew it was crazy, but like, it's like crazy, crazy. And some of the things that scared me as a kid, they still scare me today. Like, there was this one episode that I had to look away from. It was the episode with when Billy replaced Mandy with that fucking like fruit thing.
Watermelon on wheels.
Yeah, it was like a watermelon on wheels, and Grimm like made it come to life, and then it was like the new Mandy, and that episode scares the shit out of me all the freaking time because she's such a creepy ass character. And then when Mandy came back and pretty much killed her, like she's like, no, I'm Mandy. I was like, yay, Mandy's back. And I think my favorite character is Mandy because like when you first like meet her, she just comes off as like not a bad person, but like someone who doesn't care. And I mean, she's like that for the rest of the whole show. Like she doesn't give a shit. But like to me, she became more like heroic, but was still keeping that I don't give a shit attitude. But she was still had that evil like qualities to her as well. It was kind of like a mixture of like both for me. And I love Grimm's character development from going like I can't stand these fucking kids, I want to kill them, to pretty much still hating them but getting comfortable being around them and really can't imagine his life without them, even though he is the prisoner. He became comfortable with being around them, and I really like that. And I like that his character became more just okay with just being their prisoner and being their friend, even though they were treating him like shit the whole time. But yeah, Billy
That
is
sounds
just
like Stockholm syndrome.
what?
I said that sounds more like Stockholm syndrome. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean,
does.
yeah, it kind of is, but
Yeah.
yeah, it kind of is. But you know,
Yeah.
there's something that I didn't really think about watching the show. I just love the three, their dynamic, and I love the crazy adventures they get into, and I love the side characters like Erwin, Nurgle Jr.,
Fuck
Puddin,
Erwin.
Spurg, Fred
Erwin.
Despite
Fred
all,
Burger.
I'm mad because they
Billy
kept
Spurg.
on using him.
Yo, Hostel Gatto though.
Right? Hostel freaking Gatto. Like, come on.
Who?
Eris. Freaking
Hostel
Eris.
Gatto.
Um,
The guy
Oh,
with the mecha arm.
Like,
And a
Eris
dragon.
crazy stuff. Yo, remember the episode when even
Eris
Billy drove Eris crazy?
oh God, that was weird.
Freaking
That
Billy
was scary.
drove her crazy. So yeah,
Yeah.
those are I'm going for Billy and Mandy. So
Eris is able to up here.
Yeah.
so who
I'm
wants to
actually
go?
gonna go with Ben 10, mainly because as an impressionable, sheltered 6-year-old white girl in a white suburb, Billy and Mandy kind of scared me a little bit, as it was kind of supposed to a
We're
little
doing
bit. It was meant
round
for
2
kids
of
that
our
like
favorite cartoons from
it
childhood.
was like meant for kids that don't
Yes.
scare easily, and like I don't know, there were just moments that were
Hello?
Oh, she's saying hi.
Hi.
Hey, Nadia.
there
You
were
don't say
just
hi.
moments that were just a little like too
Yes, we can.
grotesque to be funny,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then you have something like Ben 10 who has like this super expansive lore. Like we were talking about side characters in Dexter's Lab, like all the side characters in Ben 10, like once there's a new side character, there's like an alien race with history behind it. And then you had Ben 10 Alien Force, Ben 10 Ultimate Alien, and we're stopping there because nothing else existed after that. But
No, we're not.
Hold
Exactly.
up,
up until that
Omniverse was
point, up
fire.
until
Not
really
stop-
that
definitely not
point,
stopping there.
like up
Omniverse
until
was
that
fire.
point, like it had lore, it had growth, whereas Billy and Mandy was just like
Adventure
a,
of the
a,
week.
a tad too much in like the bad kind of way. Like there are moments where I think that come to mind that make me gag. Moments that were just unnecessarily gross that just put me off of it.
Oh yeah.
So my vote is
Understandable.
going to Ben 10.
Okay, so yeah, 2 for Ben 10 and 1
Yeah,
for
man.
Billy and Mandy.
This
I
is
gotta
go
go
next.
for. Oh wait, who's going next? Okay.
All three of us are going to talk at the same time. Rock, paper, scissors. We got cameras. It works.
I can't. Wait. There we go.
I got heads.
1, 2, on 3. What?
Okay, sure.
Okay,
We said
I'm
rock, paper,
thinking of a
scissors.
number
You said
between
heads.
1 and
What?
30.
What
I
is
am thinking of a
happening?
number between 1
I
and
said
30.
I would go next.
Whatever.
Sabrina, go.
TV, Eric, then me. Okay.
I'm also gonna choose Ben 10. Because the alien transformations were cool. And like what Lon said, Billy and Mandy, it was just an outrageous show. And at times it just got way too weird and stupid and disgusting. Like I could not stand Billy because he was
I'm
such
right
a
there with
stupid character. I didn't find him funny at all. So I'm gonna have to go with Ben 10.
Okay.
God damn, I thought I was gonna be the only one. I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
I'm still
No,
debating.
honey, no.
pretty tough competition.
Like to
Alright,
be
well-
like to be in Shakur's defense, Billy and Mandy is definitely a strong contender to go up against, especially with something like Ben 10.
All right, for me, this was a bit of a challenge because I'm trying to decide what I liked more at this point in my cartoons as a kid. Like, Ben 10 had the superhero action that I liked, and it had like a whole lore and consistent story. But Billy and Mandy had the spontaneous, random adventure of the week with the humor that I also loved a lot. So I'm trying to figure out which one I liked more. given what I do now with my own stuff, it's reasonable to say Ben 10 had a stronger influence on what I do. So I'm going to cast my vote for Ben 10. But this is actually a lot harder of a decision that I had to make when I realized that he's just bringing in the audio from this phone.
Funny as Billy and Mandy was, and Keeper of the Reaper is my favorite episode because that shit had me crying.
We're not gonna like that shit. That song wasn't the shit though.
However, that being said, not only did Ben 10 have a stronger foundation, like, say what you want about Omniverse, say what you want about Alien Force or Ultimate Alien, say what you want about anything else, that first series was such a strong opening.
Yeah.
For something like Ben 10, especially when we were just like, oh, this is going to be another kids show. Expansive lore, deep character motivation. We weren't ready for this. We just thought it was going to be another show about a dickhead kid with alien power. And then even then, Omniverse, the only thing wrong with it was its animation. Story-wise, is great. The fight scenes are cool. Meanwhile, Billy and Mandy's ending was a movie that nobody asked for, involving characters that nobody really cared. Like, how the fuck did the finale of Billy and Mandy barely have Billy and Mandy in it?
I honestly completely forgot that even existed.
That was
Because
disrespectful.
nobody liked that movie.
It
The
was
fact
so
that
dumb.
you forgot, the fact that you had erased the series finale from your brain successfully is telling.
Oh, Shakur, where are you?
I'm in my kitchen.
No, like, can't see the picture. Can't see you.
Camera's not on.
It's not?
No.
No.
We can hear you.
Oh,
No
shit.
camera.
There we go.
You gotta turn it on. Like, for whatever reason, Zoom doesn't just auto have the camera on. Like, sometimes you gotta turn on. It's weird. But yeah, Billy and Mandy had a strong beginning too, but it suffered seasonal rot like a lot of shows in Cartoon Network do. Like, the further in you get in Billy and Mandy, the less and less you remember there. Like, I remember Oogie Boogie Adventure, but Under Fist and a lot of shit after Oogie Boogie, like, I didn't care. Like, it got to a point where I was like, what is this? Who are you? What's going on? Is that Jeff the Spider again?
Yeah, because they did the Revenge of the Spider Queen or something like that.
Yeah.
Wrath of
I
the
hated all
Wrath
these
of the Spider
episodes
Queen.
so much.
That's where I lost it. Wrath of the Spider Queen was the last major thing that I 100% remember. Everything after that is a blur.
Thing, honestly. Like, to me, that's like, okay, that's the finale of Billy and Mandy, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah,
But I
Under Fist.
gotta
We
say,
don't
one thing
acknowledge the movie.
about Billy and Mandy, they had one of the best songs, and that was that Brain song.
Oh God.
Right.
Listen,
Yeah, right.
Give me some brains.
that John was flamed.
All right, so Ben 10 moves on to round
Semifinals.
3 semifinals, and next is Powerpuff Girls versus Chowder. And I'm going with Powerpuff Girls because I am a nerd when it comes to Powerpuff Girls. Like I said last time, I loved everything about Powerpuff Girls as a kid, and I still do. I love all 3 the main girls. They all have like a split, like all mixture of my personality into like each girl. The villains
only
are
3?
iconic, and
Mojo Jojo.
Mojo Jojo.
We can't forget him for the
Can't
Gangrene
forget
Gang.
Mojo Jojo. And the movie, even though the movie I think is all right, well, I like the movie a lot. I was obsessed with it as a kid, but watching it as an adult, I'm like, okay, well, it's just the origin story again. The production value was like a lot better. I appreciate the movie. I wish it got more love when it was first like released, but it didn't.
I don't care what nobody
Um,
said. The movie was flames.
Yeah, the movie was flames, and the whole
dark.
introduction of all the monkeys getting intelligence and introducing themselves as like their supervillains is like the best scene in the whole movie.
Rocco Socko.
But yeah, Powerpuff Girls gets my vote. It's just
I go to the movie just for that scene.
and right, and there's so many like deep stories in Powerpuff Girls, like deep lessons that you never would have thought of as a kid, but as an adult, you go back to it and you're like, oh my god, like some of these stories they were telling were really deep.
Live in junkyards.
Like the episode when they like, I don't know if they went to a parallel universe and they saw what happened when they left, and pretty much him like took over everything and everyone was just miserable and just blaming.
Yeah, that one was labeled as kind of like a dark episode because it like emphasizes the fact that like they can never have a vacation. Like
Like,
God
they can
forbid
just
these
never
girls,
leave
God forbid these girls
Townsville.
grow up and get married. Like they can't go on like a honeymoon to Paris.
They
Well,
can
because
never leave Townsville.
Y'all
know everyone in Townsville is freaking won
But
something.
remember the episode when they actually moved to a different town?
Oh, that was weird.
They moved to a different town and they found out it was horrible because they couldn't do any of their superheroing stuff.
The town of Cityville.
A dumpster fire, garbage.
That was
But
weird.
yeah, I do love Chowder.
What's up,
I
Ben?
think the humor and the fourth wall breaking is great and the characters are great, but Pop-Up Girls is just will always just be number one for me.
I want to see the village of Cityville.
I almost want to vote for Chowder just to see how Eric reacts.
No, we're not
said
doing
almost.
that again.
I said
We're
almost.
not doing that again.
I said almost.
Voting
I'm voting for Chowder, whatever Eric reacts. I love Chowder.
All right, who wants to go next?
I'm voting for the
for
Pop-Up
Chowder.
Girls.
I voted for Chowder
Wait.
because I am a lover of a good fourth wall break, and I am a lover of puns. And just like the anime and the timing, and just like all those little weird tidbits just tickled my fancy in such a way. It's just one of those good shows. I also really like that anime style where it's like a pattern, and y'all know what I mean, right? With Chowder
The
shirt,
pattern stays static,
Yeah.
but it
Power
moves
stays
around with
static,
their...
but like it moves throughout. Like I'm a
Yeah.
fan of that. I'm a fan of that. I love the fourth wall breaking. Just golden fourth wall breaking. Yeah, that one took it to a whole nother level. Like when they ran out of money that they couldn't even animate. That was groundbreaking.
Or when Chowder asked if he could erase the Cartoon Network logo on the bottom
Yeah,
right
and
of
it
the
doesn't
screen.
come off. I tried. Like that's next level shit, and I admire that. So yes, I go for Chowder.
However, they can never move the position they put the logo in ever again. It's not fair. Like I love Chowder so much, but it's just not fair. Like
It's
Powerpuff
Billy and
Girls
Mandy
has 23. Like Powerpuff Girls has what? Fucking 22 years of material.
The Powerpuff Girls had a
All of which I have enjoyed in some regard. 22 years of content. Like, Chowder could not possibly have.
All right, so we
As
got
much
2
as I
Pop-Up
love
Girls and 1 Chowder.
3 for Powerpuff Girls. I'm voting Powerpuff Girls. I just, as much as I love the humor in Chowder, Powerpuff Girls, I grew up with that one. And that movie, as we've all said, was fire.
Fire.
It was, like, honestly.
I saw that shit in theaters. That shit was lit.
I wish I saw that in theaters. I was so mad when I didn't.
I don't think I saw it in theaters, but I've watched it several times online, even in slow study day classes at Hushin. We're really just doing nothing but sitting in the classroom for 4 hours.
I made sure my mama took me to see that shit in theaters. We wasn't playing around.
Yeah, I'm going with Powerpuff Girls. I love Chowder. Chowder is an amazing show, but similar to my issue with Billy and Mandy versus Ben 10, I'm watching Chowder and Powerpuff Girls for 2 different kinds of entertainment. Powerpuff Girls doesn't do a lot of fourth wall breaks. Powerpuff Girls is the villain of the week, super villain, mediocrity, etc. Villains are kind of stupid in that show, but yeah. That's so much.
So who's going next?
I choose Powerpuff Girls
Oh
because
man,
it's an
really?
awesome show, and I didn't fuck with Chowder.
Aw.
It's
Very simple.
Quick
I
shower.
don't like Chowder.
I didn't think I'd be alone.
Pretty
I like
lonely, isn't it?
I mean,
I
I
like
didn't think I
Chowder.
would be alone with Ben when it came to Billy, Mandy, and Ben 10 when we saw them playing out.
Oh no,
More
I voted for Billy and Mandy.
I know.
So you weren't alone.
I know,
did
but I
not-
was expecting
yo,
Billy and Mandy to sweep.
I swore to God I was gonna lose that. I swore to God I was gonna be the only person who voted for Ben 10. And then Billy
I'm not
and
even going to
Mandy
weigh on. I'm not even going to weigh in on this one because you already know my vote.
You just say it. Just say it.
He hates
Powerpuff
Chowder.
Girls.
All right then, because you know the people will be watching don't know that. So
If they hear last week and my rant go off, they know
see, I cut that rant out.
that's on you, Dad.
So 5 Powerpuff Girls and 1 for Chowder. So
We got Brendan.
He is conflicted.
No, I'm extremely conflicted. I've been sitting here thinking about this shit since the podcast started, and I saw, since the podcast started, I saw that Powerpuff Girls was with Chowder. I'm like, oh god damn it! I'm been over here this
Get away from me.
entire time. It's running. All right, so as much as I love Chowder, Chowder's in my top 5 for Cartoon Network shows. And I personally do believe that Chowder's humor blows Powerpuff Girls out of the water. Like, it's not even close. Just because there's so much more thought put into it. Like,
we don't have air conditioner. We have air conditioner.
Powerpuff Girls' humor is, a lot more straightforward. Like, even if you take out all the fourth wall breaks in Chowder's humor, I personally do believe that Cartoon Network has not had a show with as smart humor as Chowder since it came out. It hasn't gotten back to that point. You're not going to have a whole episode about trying to teach a person how to understand comedy. Get to the part about relationship comedy and have them dead quiet. Relationship crickets.
Well, women have these things in their bodies called expectations.
Oh god.
Expectations. There's things with Chowder that just work, that are just fucking hilarious. Between the multiple changing art styles and blah, 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 blah. However, unlike Chowder, Powerpuff Girls actually has a deep personal connection. The type of shit that has emotional scarring and shit from my childhood. For real, y'all know I'm into MLP, but I probably never would have even considered giving Friendship is Magic a chance if it weren't for just due to the emotional shit I went through as a child, being a little boy that's a fan of a colorful, girly-looking show like Powerpuff Girls. I genuinely got laughed at and made fun of for that shit. And now all of a sudden,
somebody else.
Powerpuff Girls is the shit. Where the fuck was y'all years ago?
Exactly.
that happens all the freaking time. All the time.
Powerpuff Girls was
He's like,
played.
don't try to introduce me to this show I was already watching a decade ago.
Right.
And then with the movie, and then unfortunately, Chowder and Powerpuff Girls both suffered from ending of show rot. However, Powerpuff Girls had several seasons. Chowder suffered from the show rot after 2.
Yeah, I may have chosen Powerpuff Girls, but I'm not going to act like those last 2 seasons of Powerpuff Girls weren't trash. So, yeah.
Special was dope though, but yeah, I'm going with Powerpuff Girls. That's for deep-rooted emotion. Now, I will say this: if I did not have a deep emotional connection to Powerpuff Girls at all, I would have picked Chowder, and it wouldn't have been close in the slightest. I'm not even gonna hold.
All right, so Powerpuff Girls makes it to the semifinals. And last but not least, we have Ed, Edd n Eddy versus Courage. And I'm choosing Ed, Edd n Eddy all fucking day long. Ed, Edd n Eddy is my shit and will forever be my shit.
Okay, now
Okay?
it's my turn to be a Shakur.
Forever.
Now it's my turn to be a Shakur.
This is my
Oh
shot.
my god.
And I'm going first. Let me.
Okay, you go first. You go
let
first.
me do a thing.
You go
All
first.
right, so obviously I love Courage, and if A&A wasn't there, then I would have chosen Courage. But A&A is just me and my brother. We like freaking bonded over that freaking show. Like when I say that we freaking we quoted every single line. We tried to do the stupid scams that the Eds were doing. Like that freaking show was literally my childhood. As much as I love Powerpuff Girls, and that was also part of my childhood, like Ed, Edd n Eddy just made me like cry laughing, and it still makes me cry laughing. Not at like everything that I laughed at as a kid, but like classic episodes of when Ed got
Oh my god, Brendan, stop.
Like when Ed got the freaking pebble in his shoe.
Yeah.
I laugh every freaking time. Even when you realize it was a pebble in his freaking shoe,
Brendan, where are you
I
going?
died laughing because it's so ridiculous. Like, how did all this mayhem happen because he had a pebble in his shoe?
He's a
Like,
dipshit.
why?
Ed with a pebble in his shoe can beat Goku.
And
Yeah.
yes, the Eds, honestly, like, and I love the movie, like the finale did everything perfect that a finale should do for a show. Like, it just made what I never felt sympathy for the Eds because of everything they were doing, like scamming the kids for freaking jawbreakers. But that was like the first time I actually felt bad for Eddie, and that was before you even found out about his brother. And the fact that his brother was such a terrible person, it made sense for why he would praise his brother so much, why he acted the way he acted. And they didn't have to do all that shit. They could have been like, okay, we're not going to change the Eds, we're going to keep them exactly the same. But no, like, Eddie had a genuine character arc in that movie. To some extent, you could say Double D a little bit. And, Ed stayed the same because Ed didn't have to change.
He didn't have to change. He's perfect the way he is.
So yeah, and even with the side characters, Kevin I hated because he was a dick, but he served his purpose of being a dick. Sarah was annoying. She was annoying Brat's sister. Naz was, she was the cool girl, whatever. Rolf is on a whole freaking level. Like Rolf is on a whole nother level of just like what's and the King sisters are rapists. They're rapists. Like, let's be real. Like, that's what they are. They're freaking rapists. But I love them too. And I love Jimmy, Sarah, Rolf, Kevin. I love all the characters in Ed and Eddie, even though they're flawed. I love them, and I love the show, and I love how episodic it is. But I will say, the last 2 seasons of Ed and Eddie, they weren't terrible, but they weren't great either. Because I thought it was weird that for some reason they're like, "Hey, let's just send them to school." After 4 seasons of them not being in school, why couldn't you just continue with them not being in school? I didn't understand that, but I still watched it, and I don't like those seasons. For many reasons, but they don't deter my love for the show and just in general. So that's why I'm going with Ed and Eddie. It's a classic. I think it is my favorite Cartoon Network show. I'm still torn between Powerpuff Girls and Ed and Eddie as being my favorite. But yeah, so Courage didn't really stand a chance here.
So, oh my god, Ed and Eddie, where and how do I begin? It is comedic timing and slapstick incarnate. Everything about the pacing of that show hits all of its marks. The sound effects, the background music, the style of animation, everything hits. The diction of the characters' lines, how it's delivered, in what situation it is delivered, it just clicks. And it was the show that I sought out as a kid. For me, Ed, Edd n Eddy sweeps everybody else, because I can honestly say I have seen every single episode of Ed, Edd n Eddy. I can't say that for the rest of them. I will pick Ed, Edd n Eddy above everything else. I loved the movie. I even loved those last 2 seasons. I liked that little world building of them going back to school. I thought that was like, a cute little clever touch, because we can't be in summer forever.
Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas and Ferb ended on a high note, though.
True. That is true.
Love Rolf, love Jimmy, love Johnny, love Ed, love Double D,
Hated
love Eddie
fucking
to a
Jimmy.
point. Kevin is supposed to be a jerk. Sarah's supposed to be a brat. Canker sisters are supposed to be canker sisters. It just works. I have nearly peed myself watching that empty house wedding episode or whatever. The alien episode was amazing. Like, the movie's great. It is just like my shit. I will ride or die for that till the end of time. I love it. Okay, I'm done.
Next.
Who's next?
I don't know who's gonna go.
All right, fine, I'll go.
Fred and Sideways.
Oh, you know what? I'm getting tired of you, Jovan.
I said next, and you said who's next. Fine, I'll go. Do you want to talk, Eric?
I want to, but you can go next now.
All right, so this was a pretty interesting choice because it's like I've been running into through like every category except for Dexter's Lab and Johnny Bravo, where I'm watching these shows for relatively different reasons. But at least this one's a little bit closer because Ed, Edd n Eddy and Courage the Cowardly Dog were almost the same kind of entertainment. I feel like I actually liked Courage the Cowardly Dog more than Ed, Edd n Eddy. I remember putting in more effort to watch Courage the Cowardly Dog. Ed, Edd n Eddy had a few memorable episodes for me and iconic moments that I just randomly quote or just think about when I'm bored at work and need to laugh at something to kill the time I'm in line. But I feel like I enjoyed Courage the Cowardly Dog more than Ed, Edd n Eddy in general. Just, I guess it was a different show than everything else I was watching at the time, and I enjoyed that. Whereas, like, I barely remember what else was on at the
Mind
time.
if I bring in a guest?
Kitty! I don't know where my cat is. He's hiding somewhere. He's probably my mom.
I don't have a cat anywhere near me.
Oh, for once you're not kicking him out.
Right, he's actually being sweet to him.
My cat's in the living room and she's staying right the fuck there.
Cast your vote.
Momo. Oh, I miss my
Cast your
little
vote.
baby so much.
So the cat's name is Momo?
Well, Mo, but I call him Momo.
I'm gonna say, I just finished binging Avatar The Last Airbender. That'd be funny.
Okay, so I just got word I now have to join family for festivities.
Okay.
Well, we're
I love
only
you
doing,
all.
We have to
only
laugh
doing
at
round
Sign
two.
out real quick.
Where we at
I
the
love
last
you all.
Bye,
That's on
mother.
my face.
Bye, Lauren. Hopefully you
Bye.
can join
Bye,
us with the
Lauren.
next one.
Miss you guys so much. I love all you sexy faces.
Adios.
All right, bye.
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 All right, so what was I saying? Courage? I'm on Courage the Cowardly Dog. But yeah, I just feel like, and I'm thinking back on this, I feel like I put in more effort to watch Courage the Cowardly Dog when it came on than I did to watch Ed, Edd n Eddy. Like, yeah, that's all I'm really sure. I just, similar to Dexter's Lab versus Johnny Bravo, I watched Courage more than Ed, Edd n Eddy. I like both shows, but I like Courage more.
Nobody's in a hurry around here.
The hell?
Sounds like Shakur's house.
All right. So, well, apparently we got 10 more minutes left, so let's just
All right,
try and make
I'll
this
run my
go
vote.
fast.
I'll go
I'll
next.
run my vote.
We
Go
got
ahead,
3
Samantha.
people.
Never mind.
We got
I'm gonna choose Coach the Cowardly Dog because it was unlike anything that I've seen before, and I was fascinated with all things dark and creepy. So I was automatically attracted to that show. I love the characters, how they interacted with each other, the adventures. Ed and Eddie, it was a fun time, you know. It was fun, laugh, joke. But it's really a show that it's good to be put on the background while like I'm drawing or something. So yeah.
Come now, Courage. You know I can't hear you without my glasses.
Can we all agree that Miriam, when she was a baby with that macaroni and cheese, could get smacked?
Yes.
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 Most
I
definitely.
mean, it
Right
has
to
a
the
lot
moon.
of iconic memories. I think.
All right.
All right.
In another shocker of a round, I'm gonna have to go with Courage as well. It is I love both shows, but I feel like Courage had more of an influence on me because material in the space of horror scared the fuck out of me when I was a kid. And watching Courage slowly eased me into a genre that I love so much to do.
So we're at 3 and 3, right?
I think so.
So
Because
me,
Lauren chose Ed and Eddie.
yeah, me and Lauren chose Ed and Eddie. It's 2 and 2.
Okay.
So
Wait, no, it's 2 and 3.
2 and 3. 2 and 3.
3 and 2.
you and Lauren chose Ed and Eddie, and me, Chibi, and Shakur chose Courage.
Yes.
It's Brendan. You can either make this a win or you can make it a tie.
Well, Eric has to choose too.
Oh yeah, Eric too does have to choose.
Eric, you want to go?
Sure. I'll go, as much as I love Courage, I'll go with Ed and Eddie. Because I did love the characters in both episodes, except for Jimmy. Motherfucker, I'll take his retainer away. No, I'll take his outline again.
I remember that one.
But yeah, I did love Ed and Eddie. Rolf taught me the most important thing. Never fuck with the son of a shepherd.
He also taught us to force people to confess to their crimes if they are stale end pieces of white bread.
But in all, I just think when it comes to Courage, I went there for Courage and his obstacles he overcame. When you find out what happened to his parents in that thing, that still hits me to the day. But I love the crazy and wacky adventures that Ed's got into. So at the end of the day, I have to go with Ed and Eddie.
All right. So, well, Brandon's deciding vote here. Who makes it to the semifinals?
All right. So
No pressure.
No pressure.
no pressure at all. I'm picking Courage. It's not even. But no.
Cheers.
100% honest. They both had very similar humor, and I enjoyed it. And honestly, to keep it limited outside of the villain characters in Courage, Ed and Eddie clearly had the more memorable characters and the more colorful cast just because they were more consistent. However, and this is something that I've developed now that I've gotten older. Like when I was younger, I didn't care because I didn't think of it. It's so much harder to watch as an adult because I hate a majority of the fucking cast. I hate fucking characters. Other than Ed and Rolf, I literally want everyone in this cast to fucking die. They all get on my goddamn every single one.
What did Double D do?
Really?
That's a whole rant right there. I know exactly where he's going.
Let these dumb motherfuckers do this. He's supposed to be the smart one in the cul-de-sac, but he let these dummies do this shit.
Yo, wait, baby.
You know what?
Cat,
That's a fact right there.
real quick.
Every single time he lets these
Yo,
dummies
Brandon,
do this.
I got to say something. Zoom, I don't know what's going on, but Zoom is kind of censoring you right now because every time you about to go on a rant, you just pause.
But nah, Double D wasn't shit because he was the smart person who let people do dumb shit. So he's just as bad. Eddie is a prick. Kevin and Sarah both need to get lynched. Naz was boring. Jimmy was annoying as shit. The Kankers were fucking rapists. Eddie's brother was a douchebag. Like, there's no...
What about Johnny 2x4?
Johnny was stupid, too!
What about
I mean,
Captain
he was a dumb fuck, but he wasn't like a terrible
Melonhead?
What about Captain Melonhead?
What about
Especially 'cause-
Plank?
But Plank, listen, we like Plank,
Plank
for
is
the
a wood.
we like Plank for the memes. We all know damn well Plank was just a piece of wood who didn't do anything. We
But what
liked
about
him
Captain Melonhead?
like Johnny, like Double D, falls into the category of people that were capable of stopping. They're the white friends who are part of the Black Lives Matter movement that don't date. Like, that's what the fuck they are. Like, it irritates the piss out of me.
All right, so Courage is making the semifinals, which makes me, it makes me happy because I love Courage, but it also makes me sad because I love Double D. I love NA too. So yeah, next round will be Dexter's Lab, Ben 10, Pop-Up Girls, and Courage. So
Today is just shocked the shit out of me.
Can we just give RIP to Plank for not making it?
well, I'm gonna end this recording, but we can still talk and stuff after it's done. So I'm gonna say our goodbyes and everything. So I'll have y'all.
Okay, host says goodbye last. First off,
Yes.
I'm sorry that Real Deal Eric Steele couldn't make it, but Dr. Sexy B stepped in. Maybe he'll be back next week for all you lovely ladies out there. Signing out.
Okay.
Who's man?
You had to make it
Yours, you know the longest.
You had to make it weird.
Who's man?
It's either yours or Autumn's. You've known him longest, and she's dating him.
Yo, Dr. Sexy Beast don't be tied down.
All right, everyone else can, because we got a minute left for this thing just automatically shuts off.
Deuce.
Come on, Chibi.
That's my
See
fault.
y'all in 2 weeks.
YouTube, Moonfox 2000. Just type in my name.
Shameless plug. Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Gotta get in that shameless plug.
Doing
All
this for
right.
it's only for the
Anyway,
Gotta
I'm
do
the
it for-
host, and thank you so much for listening. Subscribe, please. Watch our videos, share them, do whatever. Just get our name out there. 'Cause
Remember,
we have
Squad
fun
always-
doing this.
Dab at the one. Everybody dab at the 1 minute mark.
Wait, okay. All
You
right.
got like
And
6 seconds, 5 seconds.
stop recording and